I'm Aby Goodman here at the Legends of Tennessee camp here with Chris Treece, and he is the VP of this whole operation. Chris, tell me a little bit about the Legends of Tennessee camp. How'd you get involved? What has been the motivation behind it?
Jabari and I started doing camps probably 9-10 years ago with another organization, and when Coach Fulmer took over as the athletic director at University of Tennessee, Jabari came to me and said, I think we should do our own thing, and here's the vision that we have for the camp. So we got together, we brainstormed, we put it all on paper, and 3 years later we are a nonprofit organization, and this has been one of the best camps that we've had today. So we wanted to branch out. We normally do the 3-day camp in Kodak, Tennessee. This year we made a very concerted effort to think about doing more across the state. So we've got about 12 scheduled plus the 3-day camp in Kodak.
Yeah, you guys had an amazing turnout with the younger guys and a pretty solid turnout with the older guys as well. But I wanted to ask you, there's multiple different generations of volunteers here at this camp. Obviously, you're one of the older generations. Tell me a little bit about how your generation is able to impact these younger kids that are between the ages of 6 and 14.
Well, we can talk about experience because in some cases we're older than their parents. So their parents were able to watch us play, so they can go home and talk about, hey, I remember when I was growing up, he was one of my role models. So the kids come to the camps, and then we can kind of instill that in them about, hey, we played, well, I always joke with everybody, I played back when you could actually still hit somebody. So when football was still real. Being able to coach with these guys from different eras is exciting. The stories are the same, even though the times are different, so to speak, but the one thing is constant is the brotherhood and the camaraderie. So we want to instill that in the kids too, talking about teammates.
Yeah, that never really changes for you guys. There's always camaraderie. There's always the same things that are being preached to these athletes, no matter who's preaching it or what the generation is. I do want to talk about, how has this camp helped you guys change athletes' lives? How have you been able to impact so many people with this camp?
We're able to do more just because we're able to reach so many other kids and bring our product to so many different platforms. In the beginning it was slow going. I always make the joke, when I went to my hometown, we had 2 kids. Now we're seeing upwards of 50, 60, 70 kids with the experience and knowledge of all these coaches that come with us. We're able to maybe impact a kid who is thinking about leaving the game of football, and then we kind of change his mind and give him that little push or encouragement, saying that he is good enough to play at the next level. So you never know what you're going to find at a camp. It's like you always find a diamond in the rough. It's easy to find those kids that are 5 stars, but it's harder to find those kids that are diamonds in the rough and then try to mold them and encourage them in such a short period of time. And I think we've done a great job as a coaching staff doing that every location we've been at.
Yeah, and as a VFL, as a former volunteer, tell me a little bit about how you guys have been able to instill what you learned as a Vol so long ago. How have you been able to instill that in these younger kids?
We tell them it's all about drive and determination. We didn't just show up at the University of Tennessee one day and start playing ball. I mean, there's a lot of hard work and sweat behind the scenes to be recruited. So, we tell them, how bad do you want it? What is the message. How bad do you want it, and what are you willing to give up for this great game of football? Because we've all given up a lot and we've all sacrificed a lot. So, that will always be the message that we preach.
I think everyone can relate to having to give up something to get to where you want to be, and I think that it's an amazing message that you guys are preaching to these younger guys at such, a pivotal time in their lives to get them to the next level. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
Where can people find you on social media, and how can people find out more about this camp?
It's the Treece Advantage is my personal Twitter handle. They can go to utlegends.com. Like I said, we are a nonprofit now, so we'll be changing our URL. It'll be legendsoftennessee.org here pretty soon, so you can check that out, or Coach Davis Football. And we also have on Facebook and Twitter, the Legends of Tennessee pages, so you can look those up as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for talking with me, and thank you for having this amazing camp and teaching these guys some things that are so important to them going
We
forward.
appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having me. If you guys are looking for me on Twitter, that's at Aby with 1B. That's all my social media. So feel free to reach out to me and ask me any questions, or feel free to reach out to these guys because I know they love to talk to you guys about camps.